The Wicked Witch is dead. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It is time for Proshai Livushka. It is episode 2 of season 3 of The Sopranos, and it's definitely a very slow start to the third instalment of The Sopranos. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I would, but maybe this is where the show's going to pick up now that she is finally dead.
Yes.
The witch is gone.
The witch is gone, and I will give the show a bit of slack. Of course, the actress died in between filming. So they used CGI, and I think you can clearly tell they wanted to go with the whole airline storyline with the tickets, but obviously with her being dead in real life, they could just not advance that. So I will give them a bit of slack for the first 2 episodes, but at the end of the day, I feel like they needed to do more in the premiere of season 3 than a lamp.
I didn't care about that whole airline ticket thing, so you know what? I'm not going to cry.
Is that a blessing in disguise that the actress died?
The storylines in The Sopranos just aren't that compelling.
No. Anything that is compelling gets shot down. Like that. Like Richie. Big Sal, the big reveal, and then they just take him out and put a bullet in him. Well, numerous bullets in him.
I think Big Sal's the most interesting thing to happen. The Sopranos almost comes across as very cartoonish to me, where serious problems they just kind of fizzle out. I can't think, like, you think of problems like, let's take Sons of Anarchy for example. There's lots of problems where the club sit down and they're like, right, we need to discuss this. What's the best course of action? This and that, blah, blah, blah. Anytime Tony's hanging about with his crew, I don't recall very serious meets. It's more or less just them having banter and piss takes and jokes.
Yeah.
Like, where's the seriousness? Where's Tony sitting down and where's them discussing tactics, right? How do we move forward? What are we going to do on this? What are we going to do on that?
Yeah, it's all banter, isn't it?
Like, when's Tony and his crew going to face, like, real fucking consequences and real danger, real threat? Just doesn't really happen.
No, it doesn't happen. But no, it does happen. We get loads of Tony depression scenes. He's planked out on his kitchen floor. There's blood. There is ham. I believe there's actually also tomato puree as well in there. Then we get this, like, cool backwards scene where it's in reverse. I like this.
But basically, it was just the scene, but someone hit rewind.
Yeah, and then it turns out he's talking to Meadow and this new guy called Noah. Now, don't get used to Noah. I believe he's not really in many more episodes after this, but Tony's not proud of Noah.
No, he's not a big fan of Noah's heritage, and he makes that known to him.
Why though? Right, so obviously I think he's got a problem with him being black, but when he asks Noah about the fact that, what are you? He's like, oh, we're Italian-American. You are... Oh, I'm half Jewish, I'm half black. And he's like, so your family stars in the Tarzan movies. Oh, bit of racism there for Tony. But Noah doesn't pick up on it. And he's like, oh, in your college application, what did you write down, Jewish or black? And he went, well, you can't write Jewish because that's religious, so I went with black.
But regardless here, was Tony going to be happy with Jewish or black?
Yeah, if this guy turned around and said, realistically, right, he's went, I am Jewish, but I just can't put that in the application because that's in a religious affiliation. To me, you're...
Why not just put Caucasian?
He could put... Yeah, but... Well, true, I guess he is that. He's half, but realistically, does it really matter what he put down in his fucking college application?
Yeah, if you're black and you put down white, is that going to change the fact that you're black?
No.
But it's almost like when Tony's doing this, it's like, oh, he's not racist, he's protecting the family heritage and all this stuff, and the lineage of the family, but, protecting the bloodline, protecting the family. But, like, I just feel if this was done in 2023 and you've got a white guy basically calling out someone for being half black, this wouldn't go any other way than you are racist.
But he even says, like, here, I have black associates, and we have, like, one rule, none of our family mixes. Here, so realistically, is that not the definition of equality? No mixing. We're all the same, but we don't mix, damn it. Tony putting the foot down. He's like, see when she comes down those stairs, Noah, you say it was lovely meeting you, Mr. Soprano, then you fuck off out that door and you don't speak to her again.
I've seen clips of black people say that they would never like marry
their race.
Yeah, they would never dilute their pure black race by going with getting a child with someone white. But I mean, if a white person said that, it's like
chocolate milk.
Cancelled.
Yeah, it would be cancelled. Talking of cancelled, Livia got cancelled because Tony visits her. You thought this was pretty good CGI. I thought it was pretty good CGI for
No, for the time. I mean, this must have come out, what, 90 something?
2001.
Alright, still, it's... I tell you what, Sopranos hasn't aged well.
No,
I think you could easily think this is 80s.
Yeah, apart from, like, obviously stuff that didn't exist in the 80s.
But see, looking
Even though
at
most of it did.
looking at the quality of the camera, and even I'd go as far as saying like the appearance of people and the style of clothing, and like the house decor, everything just screams. Now, is that what they're going for? Like, what decade is it supposed to be in?
No, it's set at the same time as it comes out.
It doesn't look 2000s.
No, see if you look at 2000 movies, right, or around that time period, everything seems alright. Seeing you watch this, you're right, it seems like it's a time
I'm
capsule.
even trying to think of TV like sitcoms or anything. Like 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. That's early seasons were in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And that just looked more modern. This does look old.
Oh, yeah.
Even the intro when you see Tony driving around, it doesn't look early 2000s to me.
No, it doesn't, but again...
It fits more, like, when I see this, it does look more like, I know it's not that much earlier, but when you look at, like, Die Hard with a Vengeance, like, it kind of looks more like that kind of time. I know we're only talking...
Mid-90s.
Yeah, this definitely looks more 90s, 80s to me.
It does. They didn't take up with the times, damn it. But it was the first of its kind, but when he's talking to Livia, it turns out she didn't fill out one of the whole childhood things was grandma's memories or thoughts or whatever. Tony's pissed about this, but then like, you can clearly tell that the lines that Livia's saying, it's just lines that she's previously said. Oh, don't you get the hanky out with me. Tony's fucking there bitch slapping her across the table.
Final thought on the appearance and the overall general look of this show. What year did the last season come out?
2007.
Would you say there's a massive difference the way it looks in 2007 between like now?
I would say now it looks a lot more colourful, but I feel like by the end they went for more dark and gritty.
Because 2007 is basically Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, other show like Lost, Prison Break are all way into their show.
So in comparison to that, like, does it look like it's in the same time? Because now, season 3, it looks like you're 2 decades in the past.
I mean, obviously characters have aged, but I would say it probably looks around like 2000 and 2007 rather than...
Alrighty.
But anyway, guess what, guys? Livia has not touched anything, damn it. She's not filled out the baby journals. Tony heads home. He's pissed off about this. Meadow tries to confront Tony about the whole behaviour with Noah, because Noah is not really speaking anymore. And Tony's like, I told him to stay away, man. And then guess what? He smokes a cigar. Puff. He walks back in the house. And guess who's died in her sleep?
Your mother's deed.
Your mother's deed, Tony. And I tell you what, I remember watching this for the first time and I was like, yes, she's fucking dead. Because I just hated the character, man. It was almost like you needed to turn off every time I seen her. And like, this whole episode is pretty much dedicated to her. And then at the end of the episode, I mean, I know I'm skipping ahead, Carmela just basically buries her and is like, we don't give a fuck about her. Didn't even want a funeral, for fuck's sake. And it's like, what are we doing? 56 minutes of an episode centered around her. The best things about it was when you had like Tony talking with Junior in this episode, which it was more to do with the whole garbage debate. But again, I don't think they've really went into in great detail, haven't they not?
No.
Like for the casual viewer, like this is my second time watching it, so I kind of have like a wee bit. Realistically though, it's not clear cut. Like there's no percentages. It's just like, well, Junior's got his wee crew. That's that Ralphie now and Albert. They kind of run the, and Tony's got his. And
you basically know there's a bit of beef about some garbage disposal, but that's it. You don't know the ins and outs.
Yeah, we're introduced to Ralph here, and it's like he's even bantering on the deck with Tony, and it's like, if this was a serious beef and they were setting, like, I mean, we've seen a bomb go off at the start of the episode, a firebomb in the back of the garbage truck. If this was a serious beef, would they really all be joking around, fucking pissing themselves?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. This is the first time we see Ralph. I like Ralph, he's pretty funny, but I mean, here he didn't really show much fucking comedic element to himself, did he? Then we see later on in the episode, we got Ralph and Albert beating some guy up with baseball bats. Whoop-to-do. Barbara is then on the phone to Tony. She's crying, and Tony is going ballistic at this point because it turns out Janice is not going to the funeral. She's like, why the fuck you not going to your mother's phone? You're making your sister upset, Jay. And she's like, oh, can I bring my fiance? And I'm going to guess that the guy who's sitting down at the table is her fiance, but...
Looked about 10, 15 years younger.
Yeah, I could have swore.
And it looked like they were at work.
It
looked like they were wearing a uniform, like a Kentucky KFC fucking uniform.
I think they are. I think there was a work uniform, but I actually thought this was her son the first time I watched this.
Oh damn!
Turns out it's not her son.
Take a seat, Janice.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, there's like you said, there's literally like a 2-digit year gap at least, man. Seriously going on. We do get Livia's wake in the funeral home. Junior managed to get to this through like his parole. No, it's not a violation, but he managed to get to it because guess what? My sister-in-law, Tony, I'm allowed to go to it. And I think the best scenes this episode were the Tony Jr. scenes. Would you agree with that? These two talking business, it just feels a bit important. Even though it's about the garbage business, I just spent 10 minutes, or 3 minutes or whatever, burying it. I enjoyed it. We then have a scene where Adriana, Christopher, and Furio are getting high on a bong. Again, was Tony really appreciate this?
I don't think so.
Not injecting heroin into the toes. We then see Raymond Curto, who of course is a captain. And we see him speaking to the FBI. This is when we first find out that he's been a rat this entire time. And yeah, the guy's not been a prominent role in the series up to this point, but to me this just cheapens the whole Big Sal storyline. Do you not think so? Like, this guy's just been revealed as a rat like that, throwaway. And like Big Sal, like, they gave him the big story arc. Like, said, oh, he's the only guy that ratted, and there's another guy.
Yeah, I didn't really like this. It just randomly kind of happened.
And like, it's just getting to a point more. Say there's one more rat. It's like, this crew's just not. I just don't get the Sopranos. I get it, it's a mob boss family, but you're right, there's no one fucking likable. Who am I supposed to root for here?
Yeah, I don't like anybody.
Like, even the more likable ones, I would like Big Sal. I'd say was likable, but he was a rat. And how much can you really root for a rat?
It's strange because out of Tony's crew, I think Big Sal seemed like to be probably the most genuine in terms of being genuinely nice. He seemed to be the nicest one there. But anytime we've seen him in scenes with his wife, he treated her like shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say he's a good guy, and obviously he was a rat as well. But I did feel sympathetic towards him. Paulie, I fucking can't stand him.
Yeah.
Silvio's a wee weirdo. I don't really. Chris, I mean, I think Chris is an entertaining character, but he's a fucking arsehole.
Yeah, they're all arseholes.
He's not a nice guy, and Tony's just, you know.
But I think that's a problem with this show. See, when you think they're all unlikable, do you really care when they die?
Well, I kind of did feel bad for Big Sal, but I don't think I'll feel that bad if any of them else go. Like,
yeah, but I feel like that's the only character they actually tried to make you feel sorry for. If you look, I get it, right? We're in a criminal world. Oh, you're not really supposed to feel bad for all you. Like, I mean, I'm not saying when Mikey Palmas died or Richie, you don't really feel bad for them. But do you feel anything? I felt like when those two died, it was like, well, they just killed them off too early, rather than any sort of like remorse for the character. Anyway, though, we get back to the Tony Soprano household. We just get a lot of them talking. We see Tony goes into his drink store. We see them on the mirror. Big Sal's back. His ghost. Back. His outline is big. How could you miss it? Furio's talking about some like gladiator game show to Paulie. I don't think Paulie understands him, to be honest, but it's what it is. We have Hesh telling a joke. Everyone's laughing. And then as soon as they like clock Tony at the corner of their eye, they all just like look at the floor. I don't like this whole gimmick of like they're all scared of Tony. I get it.
Maybe they're not scared of him. It could just be that it's inappropriate to be laughing and joking at the guy's mother's fucking
I'd accept
wake.
that, but we've seen this on numerous occasions so far throughout this show.
No,
they're too afraid. Like they laugh at his jokes, and then they're too afraid to laugh at someone who jokes to him.
I'm not too. I know, but I think Artie. It could have been Artie's mum's funeral, and Artie could have walked past. And I think they would have probably done the same thing.
True, but evidence backs
that's because Artie runs the show, like. But
no, Artie does run the show because what happens next?
Artie makes a scene. He doesn't give a shit whose mother's wake it is.
Yeah, he gets a wee flashback.
Trash.
He gets a flashback about Livia. He's like, oh, Tony's the one that burnt it down, or Artie. So Artie fucking starts throwing all the trash about Tony's bricking it for Artie. He's like, don't go back in the house, Artie.
Pick that up, and then he just drops his pants. And he's like, oh, come on, Artie, don't go in there.
And what was funny about this, so right, so you've got Janice wanting everyone to like say a bit about Livia, but no one can say anything good. And I feel like she was doing people dirty here. First she asked Hesh, He's like, well, what you got was what you got. Then she asks AJ, he's like, how am I supposed to know? Then Chris, who's stoned at his tits, is like, yeah, man.
No two people are the same.
And he's just fucking sitting there, stumbling a bit. And then that's when Artie comes in, and Artie's like, about to go on a full fucking rant, and then Carmela's like, well, this is one big crock of shit. Proceeds to bury him. Then her parents get in a bit of an argument, and he's like, what are you, the minister of fucking propaganda? And it's like, what's this all about? Why are these two beefing over fucking Livia?
But why didn't Carmela reveal the truth? She tried to fucking kill her own son. Maybe that can't come out.
Yeah, but I don't think that's... well, let's be real. We can say that's part of the problem, which I think to a degree
Well,
it is.
that is 100% the problem. I mean, Carmela has not spoke to Old Man. Forget his name since that happened.
With Junior... I'm forgetting Junior's name.
Sorry,
but,
Big Junior.
No, but my point is, see, before Livia did that, it's not like they liked Livia. She was a miserable...
No, they didn't like her. They didn't get on, but they tolerated her. But you can think someone's a bad person. You can think someone's toxic. This and that, but there's certainly a line that they can cross, and that's you like, I'm done.
Yeah, true, but
I think agreeing to kill your own son is that line.
I would say though that this scene probably would have still took place even if she didn't agree to kill Tony.
No, I don't think so.
Well, there's loads of people in this room that don't know she tried to kill Tony.
I mean, no one really said a bad word about her. Let's be real. It was Carmela that started it. Then her dad was like, you go on, girl.
Then he was like, she ruined all of our fucking Christmases, sort of thing. Then Barbara's husband was like, salut, because he raised his glass.
So for me, unless she gave to Anthony Jr. or whatever his name is, what's the guy called again?
Who?
The guy.
Uncle Junior.
Uncle Junior. I think if she didn't tell Uncle Junior, then it's fine to kill Tony. That Carmela wouldn't have been going on in this rant here. So.
Maybe, but you could clearly see for like the pilot that Tony couldn't stand his mother, man. Obviously, it went up a level. Like once she did try to kill him, I'll accept that. Speaking of Uncle Junior and Carmela,
It went up a level. That was the final straw.
Yeah, but he made all right with her in the season 2 finale. You know, he was talking to her.
Barely.
Well, it was better than what it was. Point is, right, what Carmela said to her was right in the money. She didn't even want a fucking funeral, and her kids went against their own wishes.
I know, but I didn't really like this with Carmela, because I don't think she went all in. I think she planted seeds, but I would have preferred it if she just went all out and said what she truly felt about her, and then was like, what kind of mother tries to kill her own son, you know, and that's like that's the bullet point.
End of the day, though, like
decimal place.
Should the wife be speaking about fucking club business?
Well, should she? Well, you could. Well, she just said anything. This wasn't very professional, was it?
I don't think it was, but Tony didn't take much problem with it because he agreed with every word she said.
But then he walked off half greeting, so...
Mm-hmm. He did, and then, hey, you say half greeting, we cut to the end of this episode, he's fully greeting, he's watching a scene from The Public Enemy where the mother in that movie is crying because her son returns to the hospital and then Tony starts crying, so yeah. I don't know if this is because Livia is dead and he like sees this scene in this movie and goes, oh, that reminisces me of Livia, but... realistically, who really cares about these tears for Tony? I'm not really buying them. I think he could just be fucking greeting because he's a depressed fuck. It's got nothing to do with Livia.
Possibly.
And his bloody cable bills run out or something. I don't know, but that's how the episode ended, with Tony sipping on a bit of scotch with tears trickling down his face. He did have scenes with Dr. Melfi, but they did nothing for me this episode. And can you not already see, like, going into season 3, how it's just pointless?
I think the Dr. Melfi thing should have been a season 1 only deal.
Yeah, they introduce us.
I think it was a good introduction. I mean, I think that's a good way to start the series and whatnot, but I don't know how long this is going to go on, but does it really need to be dragged out for 6 seasons? I'm just not seeing it. I think it could have been a 1 season only thing. How many different conversations can they have about essentially the same thing? Tony's depression.
Get used to it.
Because that is what every conversation is about. There might be different things on his mind that day. There might be different scenarios, different situations that is getting him down or it's got him overthinking. But at the end of the day, every time he's there, they're basically talking about his depression. And after a while, it's like, okay, we've done this, we've heard this. I don't really need to see it in a different way, different context, different...
Even sometimes he does talk about his business, but it's like, I'd rather him just talk about his fucking business to his crew. That's what it means more. See him talking about, I had a little problem there, I had to deal with it. No, you fuck. I want that to be said to Chris. I want that to be said to Uncle Junior. I mean, see Clay, like, see he wanted to fucking push a folk through. Did he go to the psychiatrist? Or did he just fucking slam the gavel down? That's what he did, guys. And I'm going to guess episode of 6. I feel like it was way better than the premiere. And I enjoyed most of it. But again, like, realistically, what is season 3 story arc? Like, what is the main plot line in this season? Like, what have you had to hit me with?
Well, that's
as of right now, you would have to say...
2 filler episodes?
No, as of right now, you would have to say it's the garbage disputes, but that is not enough to carry a season.
Is it really? Because there was nothing mentioned about it in the first episode.
That's what I'm saying.
It's 2 filler episodes.
I'm going to get a 6.
What did I give episode 1?
You give it a 4.
I'll give this a 5. It was a bit better.
Bit better, guys. 5.5 out of 10. That'll do it for Soprano Sundays. We'll be back with some theories through the week. But until episode 3, which is titled... I don't know what it's titled, damn it. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Till then, peace.